I just feel like it's mostly work. Like me coming in here, putting in the work, trying to get my percentage up. I think I'm at like 30% right now. I want to be above 35 at least. But it's just coming in here working every single day.
Rick talked about working, speaking of that, on that balance with you, like decelerating, being, like, is that something you have to think about every shot now in the game? Is it still in rhythm? How have you approached that?
For me, like right now, I'm trying not to think on my shots, but definitely Rick's been helping me with keeping my balance. Like I've been watching film and seeing I'm leaning left a little bit, leaning right. Instead of being square, when I'm square, most of my shots is going in. So when I'm working on my shot here, I'm thinking about that. But in the game, I'm trying not to think, just play my game and just shoot the ball.
Is it because of your size that you feel like you drift? Why do you feel like that is? Habits from years?
I just feel like I'm moving at 1,000 miles an hour all the time, moving so fast. But it's just, I just got to slow down, take my time, and just make sure I go through the net.
Came in off the bench in Atlanta and then have started since then. Does that change your approach at all when the roles are different? What's kind of been the conversations with those?
Not at all. Like obviously, coach is an amazing coach. He whatever he asks me to do, I'm gonna do to the best of my abilities. Coming off the bench, starting, I'm gonna go in there and try and give 110 every single time. So.
You're 9-7. There have been some good wins, but some disappointing losses. How would you describe the start to the season for the team?
I feel like them losses, we have to learn a lot. Feel like we come out a little flat sometimes. I'll take part in that. Like I feel like I don't bring the energy that the team needs sometimes. But yeah, we all got to take responsibility, come out and just start strong every single game.
Rick talked about it being important for you guys to learn lessons from some of these. I mean, what were some of the points that he has tried to drive home, basically since Monday?
Yeah, no matter who we playing, coming out strong, coming out with energy, bringing the fans into the game, bringing the guys on our team into the game, like just going out there having fun, bringing energy. But like especially defensively, coming out and taking on the challenge of guarding our yard, helping each other out on the floor, and just locking into everything that they're telling us to do defensively. Offense, I feel like everybody knows our identity. Like I feel like we get a couple more stops defensively. Like we ain't got to be the best defensive team, but obviously that's the goal. But we get a couple more stops, that's going to change our game a lot, tremendously. So we're going to keep working on that.
You mentioned just whoever it is you're playing. I mean, and Miles said something about, maybe sometimes you look at someone's record and kind of exhale a little bit. I mean, is that less of a case of like not thinking that they're any good? Like everybody's in the NBA. Is it more of a case of sometimes when you get a big win, you exhale a little bit?
Yeah,
it's a long
like
year.
you said, like it's the NBA. No matter who we play, whether it's everybody on the bench, no starters, like no matter who we play, if guys made it to the NBA, they're really, really good players. So no matter what we do, we got to approach every game the same, go in there, not worrying about the other team, worrying about us, doing what we've been working really hard all summer for, all year, or the start of the year for. So just going out there, accepting the challenge, and just working hard and doing everything they're telling us to do.
You guys are getting ready to play back-to-back games against the same team, Miami. As the players, do you like playing back-to-back games against the same team in the regular season? Is it easier, harder?
I mean, it's not easier or harder. I just feel like we just got to lock in. Going down to Miami, a great team. They got great players. I played them in the playoffs last year, so I'm familiar with their scout. But we just got to go out there, work extremely hard because we need both of those wins. So we worked today. We're going to work tomorrow to get prepared. So.
Were you keeping up with the games last night to see who you guys would play next Tuesday, or did you just wait and see?
Nah, for sure. I had the Milwaukee game and the Heat game on last night, or Milwaukee and Boston game. So they both played really good. But I guess we're playing Boston now, so I'm looking forward to it.
Is there an added sense of excitement hosting that game, getting closer and closer to that trip?
Definitely, especially the fans we have here, amazing fans, having an opportunity to play them in our gym now for the season tournament is gonna be fun. So everybody make sure you're out there Monday 7:30, right?
That's right.
Yes, sir.
Is the in-season tournament for programs like this, for franchises like this, that don't get the attention? Voice again, sorry.
Nah, you good. Yeah, I understand the question. I feel like I was watching something Ty said yesterday. Like this team, it's been a while since they made it far in the playoffs or made it get to the finals. So having an opportunity to have that type of feel, I guess having that type of feel of the playoffs, finals type of atmosphere, it's fun for us, but it's also fun for the fans. Something to look forward to. So we're gonna approach it like every other game, but we're going to go out there and try to get the win for these fans.
Some of these lineup changes recently, you've been kind of a creator with the second group a little more than you were, I think, early in the season. What do you think of doing that, and how does that kind of change what you need to do in those lineups versus others?
I think it's been cool when I get a chance to do that. Kind of going back to a little bit of my role back from last year, just trying to create and score the ball, and then get my teammates involved. So it's been fun doing that.
What does Rick tell you to approach in those situations when it comes to being more of that kind of player with those groups? Does he ask you to set guys up?
He doesn't say anything. He says
Really?
nothing. Yeah.
Okay.
How do you characterize the start of the season? Because there's been some really good wins. Combine that with some losses that
We've had some tough losses to teams that we should be. Our record should be way better than it is now. So we just gotta focus better against I wouldn't say the teams with the not so great record. You just gotta be better on those nights.
you find it's just a couple of percentage points off, like in 98%. You know, if you let up just a little bit against those teams, they can beat you.
Yeah, I mean, they're all NBA players. Everyone can have a night, have a great night, a great shooting night. We just got to know our personnel and take every team seriously.
When you have a practice today after a game like that, what's the general focus?
Yeah, we had a long film session, just showing the things we can fix. We had like some careless turnovers, some forced shots, so we fixed those. We'd be better.
What you mentioned just having to take every team seriously. I mean, what is leading to that not happening? I guess from what you can tell. And
Say it again?
What is leading to that not happening in some of these?
I don't know. I mean, as a team, we just got to be better. Maybe we took them lightly, but they came in and threw the first punch. But yeah, those games, we need those wins towards the end of the season, just seeding wise. That can hurt us or help us. So we need those games.
Playing the Heat again, first time since finals. Will you reflect at all when you're there?
No. But yeah, honestly, the first thing I did remember was the last time I was there, I had a really good game against them. I think I had 11 in the fourth. So, I mean, I love playing in Miami. I went to college there. So I think Coach L would probably be there if they don't have a game. But yeah, I love being in Miami. It's a great city.
Are you keeping up last night to figure out who you guys would play, or did you just wait?
No, I'm just waiting to see. I don't really care. But we're playing the Celtics, right?
Yeah. So
that's good. We're at home. Last time we played them, they got us really good without Ty and without Stick. So we'll see come, Monday night?
That's right.
So I wanted to go back to just, not in terms of taking things lightly, but obviously when you've been on a championship team, you know basically like how important it is to get every win that you possibly can. I mean, did you get a sense when you were on the team last year that you guys never took anybody lightly?
Yeah. I mean, that was obviously talked about all the time, not taking the team lightly because we need those wins towards the end. And Memphis was in it with us last year towards the end of the season, and we got a few wins to push us ahead. So yeah, those games are important.
Jimmy Butler didn't play last night. I don't know what his status, but if you're guarding him this week, what are the keys?
Yeah, I mean, he's extremely physical, a great player, great talent, can score at all three levels, just a great playmaker. So I got to try not to foul and just be physical with him, not let him catch anything in the spots in the mid-range. And really mostly not foul.
Very interesting. Something with NBA is always good to get another crack at it. That takes them out, but you can dwell on these things, but you just got to move on and take a beating like a professional.
Defensively, did you see some improvements last game?
Yeah, we still made some tough shots. It's the NBA, but I feel like our mistakes on offense and defensively, communication, little stuff that we can fix for ourselves. Coaches instead of telling us what to do right, we just gotta apply it and execute it in the game.
Rick was saying that it's just important for you guys to learn some lessons. What are the most important lessons you guys have to take as a group and individually for Monday?
I feel like we have played lessons. Like I just that we play the better teams better, and teams that not to say they're not whatever their record shows, we're playing down to their record as their record, and taking it for granted. And games I think we should have won, and we lost.
How do you avoid that as a team?
Respect opponents better and be more well prepared and don't take anything lightly. It's the NBA, man. Anybody can get beaten any night.
Last year, you went to Miami in December and had a memorable game. Tyrese had one of those nights. What do you remember about that night?
It's a good night. Mr. Remember, it was a good night. Hopefully, we can have 2 good nights like that again and come up with 2 good wins, team wins.
You check in a lot. You run up to the ref and grab the ball. Do you warn them before the game that you're going to do that every time you check in?
See, most of them are annoying. Some of them don't let me touching the ball. They don't want me shooting the ball, which is respect. But I always tell the ref, I said, man, we're here to entertain the fans. If we don't make no shots, we can't entertain the fans. So I got to feel the ball. I got to see it go in. I can't entertain the fans, and the fans are booing us and they're mad at us. The buddy not making no shots. Ref not touching the ball. You got to blame the ref.
Yeah. Well, how did you start doing that? When did it become a thing? Why? Just explain it, I guess.
I guess the ball is leather in college. I guess college is leather too, but it's a different kind of leather. It's more thicker, as I can say. I don't know if I'm using my details right, but so college ball is much more softer. You can feel the ball, but like NBA ball is in the cold, can't really feel it. So you gotta grab it and feel it moist in your hand. I gotta feel the ball. I gotta love the ball.
And it really helps
to love me back too.
That really helps you?
Yeah, I gotta feel the ball, touch the ball, just feel it, man. Feeling is a great feeling.
Buddy, you guys are hosting obviously next week for the in-season tournament game against Boston. Just how cool is that going to be to host this again?
It's a great deal for us. Great game for the fans. Great game for the NBA. And you're watching these games are high intensity. They're like playoff types games, and they're coming down to last plays. You watched Golden State last time in Sacramento. Golden State up about 20-something. Sacramento came back. Turnovers cost Golden State the game. The fans in the games, Golden State and Sacramento, they have their rivalry going on. So it's been fun to watch, and you've seen the games with Brooklyn and the Raptors. Brooklyn didn't win the game, then Orlando will be in. So, but you still got to try to win the game because it comes to get the regular game. So and guys got teams trying to get that point spreads, and that point spreads is it's kind of like a nerve-wracking because I've been to that point spread situation where in the FIBA I understand it, and you be up by 20, and after that you don't get it, and after you keep pressing, you're going to be up 20 and end up losing the game because you're trying to stay up. So it's one of those deals, and it's a fun deal though. I like it. I think the NBA done a great job of implying that in-season tournament, and we got to play these games regardless. And going to Vegas, I think it makes it much more exciting for the players and the fans.
Do you watch the games closer, like when with this tournament going on?
Yeah, I'm calling the coaches. I'm calling the stats guys. Whatever. I say, so that means this team wins or this team loses by this one. We're in, who we play. I'm trying to be locked in. It's kind of cool, man. I think that's exciting for to be following it, especially how before knows who's our matchup, and everybody want to find the right matchup, but we gotta go to everybody to get to the top, so you might as well take them down one by one.
You're home against Boston with a chance to go to Vegas. This will maybe be the biggest December game you played.
Yeah, of course. You got a lot on the line. You got wins on the line. You got the first season tournament on the line. Playing in Vegas, being the Final Four. That's big deal. And I think players around the league is a big deal to be part of history, and the chance to win it first time is part of history too. So, we're excited. But we got to take care of Miami first.
Before we start, I just want to recognize Jim Boylan being USA Basketball Coach of the Year, which is very significant. He coached 6 windows that led to the USA qualifying for the World Cup. Did it with free agents, G League players, guys that were cast-offs from Europe, things like that. It's a pretty significant accomplishment, so congratulations to him. Jalen Smith is going to stay back on this trip. He'll be evaluated when we get back. He's got a left knee bone bruise, and he's got a left heel contusion. And so the prognosis for him is pretty positive based on what a lot of people saw. Compared to what a lot of people saw. But he'll be evaluated when we get back, and hopefully it's something where he's not out too long.
Rick, you and the team said that Monday was frustrating for you guys. How does that influence what today's practice was like, what you focused on?
Well, we needed to refocus on a lot of the basics, and so we had a good day today. We're gonna we're gonna make every day a good day to the extent that we can. You know, we're getting ready for a stretch now that's going to be a difficult stretch. And so, you know, our basic stuff's got to be really tied together. We're a little banged up, so we've got to circle the wagons and make sure everyone's ready. And you know, Oscar Shiwe will travel with us. He practiced with us today, and you know, he's been doing a really terrific job with the Madians, and so you know, he's kept himself ready.
What's I know I'm sticking on this point, but you talked about just the importance of learning lessons, that this group has to learn some lessons. I mean, what are the most important lessons you feel like you were able to drive home, and what are the most important ones you feel like you've got to keep harping on with this group?
It's just, you know, when we met just before the season started, we talked about the details and the difficulty of NBA basketball. So, you know, we failed in the detail areas in the Portland game. We turned it over. We had some bad shots, you know, that were just ill-advised, and we didn't play to a standard that is the right standard for us. So we hope it's a lesson learned, because we now get into a very difficult stretch.
Did you see anything on film for Monday's game that you wanted to focus on specifically today, or was it all just basics, fundamentals, repeating all that stuff to these guys?
Yeah, it's shot selection, it's physicality on defense, blockouts and possession of the ball with rebounding, you know, a lot of those kinds of things. So there are a lot of details I could give you. I mean, you know, there are many instances with our team where we do a lot of good things in a defensive possession, then we have, you know, one moment, and then, you know, we give up an offensive rebound or have some kind of a breakdown that leads to a score, and the inability for us to get the ball and go, because we're the best in the world at doing that. So we just got to stay on it. You know, the season's still pretty young, and got to stay positive with the group, you know, and talk more about what we do want to happen and less about what we don't want to happen, because that can come off in a negative way.
As a coach, you of course look at your next opponent, but last night were you looking at who you guys would be playing next Tuesday, keeping up with those results in any way?
Yeah, who wasn't? I mean, the whole world's watching this thing. No, we drew a tough team. We understand the challenge there is going to be significant, but it's a great opportunity, and it's a great opportunity to play a great team in front of our home crowd on Monday. And you know, to the extent that we can, we've got to sell our fans on getting our building full and you know, treating it like a playoff game opportunity. And so you know, I'm sure our fans will come out, and you know, we're looking forward to a chance to compete against a team that, you know, a lot of people think is the favorite to win the title. So it'll be tough. It'll be a tough game for sure. But we've got to keep our eye on the ball. We've got two very tough games before that at Miami, so that's tough too.
I want to go back, you know, with Sticks being out. Isaiah's obviously got a bunch of minutes lately. It seems like you've been pretty pleased with, you know, what you've got out of him. What do you just like what you've seen in the minutes that Isaiah's had recently?
Yeah, Isaiah's kept himself ready. He's contributed significantly in big games. I mean, the game at Atlanta, you know, pretty clear case could be made that he won the game for us with activity, defense, rebounding, shot blocking. You know, the Detroit game, he and Jalen played together in some significant stretches where we needed size, and he was terrific in that game. So, you know, this is the NBA, and you're gonna get situations where guys miss some games, and the next guy's got to be ready. So, you know, I'm sure he will be.
You've given a lot of credit to your assistants, but I never thought on Jim to have a guy like that helping you out with all the experience he's had, and most recently even to have that with USA Basketball. How beneficial is that?
Well, very, very beneficial. And you know, headed into the summer, Jim was a resource for Tyrese to talk about FIBA and the difference in the FIBA game. I mean, I don't know the number of games that Jim coached, but you know, in each of the windows, you're going to play at least 2 games. So I'm guessing it's anywhere a minimum of 12 games, and you know, with what they call the friendly games and all that kind of stuff, it may have been approaching 20. You know, so he has a lot of experience there, and he's, you know, he's terrific. He's been terrific for us, and you know, he's very committed to this city. You know, he's lived here for a lot of years, even when he was not coaching here, and so it was very meaningful to him to have the opportunity to come back and be a member of the staff.
Rick, back-to-back games against the same team in Miami. Do you like playing back-to-back against the same team in the regular season? Is it different to prepare for those types of things?
It's on the schedule, so I like it. You know, and that's how you got to look at it. You know, for us, you know, we're a young team that is wanting to play as many meaningful games as possible. You know, Miami is a perennial playoff team in the finals last year. It's a great experience for us, and you know, we got to go in there with guns blazing. I mean, they're a big time team, and you know, Butler's been out some games, stuff like that. But it sounds like, you know, he's probably gonna be back. So we'll have our hands full, but it's a great experience. And then, you know, from game 1 to game 2, you know, you make adjustments and changes as needed, and try to win the second game.